Well, good morning, guys, and thank you for tuning in to day 4 of CMA Industry Week. And this day is going to start off with a big brand, like what I call a juggernaut brand in the industry. Everybody knows them as Metra, but what's also important is if you take a close look at our schedule, we've actually broken down the next 6 hours to different brands that are under the Metra umbrella. And we had to do that because we want to keep the conversations, compartmentalized per brand because they reach so many different things. We thought would be the best way to deliver the content that you need to succeed this season. Having said that, we've got an all-star cast with us supporting from Metra for the entire day. And I'm going to start off by introducing the one that will be driving it for us. His name is Gatlin Sandhu, and he's the Canada Sales Director for Canada. I said Canada twice. Good morning, Gatlin. How are you?
Good morning, Ben. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I hope you did some stretches this morning because we've got a lot to get our learn on for the next few hours.
We sure do. We've got a lot of information to go through, and so I hope we get through it in a timely manner.
Well, we're definitely going to do our very best. A lot of preparation. We have videos, we've got slides, we have you, and we got some special guests that I think are really going to bring a great dialogue to our conversation. Maybe you'd like to introduce them.
We've got Jason Anderson, the VP of R&D from Metra in Florida, and our head tech support, Aaron, as well.
Wow. When Metra plays, they play big. They bring in like the A team.
We do.
That's right.
Look at that. Gray,
Aaron,
red, and
the A team.
Aaron, the A team. That wasn't even purposeful. I didn't even notice I did that. Welcome to CMA Industry Week, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. We're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to offering our support not only to Gatlin but to CMA, and what you guys got going on is it's really exciting. So we're happy to be here.
What we're trying to do is put the with the current climate, of course, try to put the content that the dealers need to succeed, and that's kind of the whole theme of CMA Industry Week. And so far in day 4, I have to share with you guys, the response has been great. We've been kind of knocking it down distributor by distributor, and I want to bring that up because we're here as a direct to the manufacturer, and I think I wanted to pass the flag over to Gatlin to explain a little bit about Metra's footprint in Canada and how everything works.
Well, in Canada, we've got several distribution networks within our reach to distribute our products here in Canada. And, at the end of this podcast, Industry Week, for our 6th hour, I'll go ahead and dive into that a little bit deeper. But as a whole, I am the Canadian representative for Metra. And, my job is to drive business to our retailers, distributors, and help people become more profitable and efficient in the Bay. At the end of the day, we try to, do our best with our products and with our outreach of tech support teams and our R&D departments to make sure that we have the best in the industry.
And to operate at that level and to be responsible for such a giant footprint of SKUs, let's be honest, it is a colossal footprint. Everything touching from, everybody knows Metra, of course, from integration, right from the beginning when the word was introduced into 12-volt integration. I could arguably say that Metra introduced that term, right, with the wire kits and the dash kits, but it's grown so much since then. So why don't you let's take 5 minutes to kind of set the stage with where Metra is right now in the industry.
Okay, well, Metra's been around since, since 1949. 12-volt accessories. A lot of people know us as just a plastics company, right? If anybody's installed a radio into any of their vehicles, they've more than likely used one of our kits or antenna adapters or harnesses. And, Metra being such a large corporation with so many brand umbrella underneath of us, the objective of this Industry Week is to kind of shine some light for people, not only on our plastics integration modules and antenna adapters, but the wide and vast variety of products that we've now got under our umbrella for such as Saddle Tramp, Heist, Daytona Series, I-Beam, and etc. So to start today, this is going to be Metra, and the introduction is just that there's kits, there's antenna adapters, there's all the interconnects to install a radio, and we'll go through some slides and talk about some videos and kind of go from there. Some new interesting pieces as well that I've got here to show you, to do some unboxings and help our retailers become a little bit more profitable in the Bay.
I like that. So we've got a very dynamic landscape that we're going to go through in detail over the next few hours, but we're going to start with the OG category, I call it the OG category. Anything you'd like to add, gentlemen? I mean, I have you guys. I'm going to use you guys for sure, right? Anything you'd like to echo or accent on what Gatlin's little spiel is about Metra?
So when Gatlin was mentioned about the year that Metra opened and started, what a lot of people don't know is that we started out making stamped metal brackets for CB radios and taxi cabs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
And that's how it started. And obviously you can see the progression throughout the years. And now, we're knocking out plastic aftermarket dash kits, anywhere from 70 to sometimes 90 a year. So our SKU list continues to grow, continues to evolve. And I think that's really a testament to Metra over the years is, they start out in Metra or metal kits for CB radios, and then they expand across multiple new product lines. We continue to grow, we continue to push that envelope. And this, what we're doing here during this training is just a small portion of, fractional portion of what, Metra has to offer as a whole. So
teeny.
Yeah. So,
teeny.
As we're just talking about, just going over the products for these 5 hours, we've got a lot more product lines that back that up because we really push ourselves. We push ourselves to be the best in the market, and we push into new markets. And all that's to help our distributors, our dealers, maybe get more business, maybe bring more business into the shops. That's our goal. I know that's Gatlin's goal, but that's Metra's goal as a whole.
Codependency.
That's right.
Codependency. I think that's going to be a theme that's going to resonate throughout this entire session. Well, gentlemen, why don't we say we get to it? Where do we begin? How do you eat a 10,000-pound elephant? I guess one piece at a time would be the answer. So let's go for it, Gatlin.
Nothing to do it but do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll dive into the first slide here. It's a first to market kit, and we're pretty excited to present this one here. It's our 107 GM 5B dash kit, and it fits 2010 to 2012 Cadillac SRX. It's designed for most shallow mount aftermarket radios and pioneers DMH C2550 NEX, as well as their DMH C2500 NEX modular receivers. This kit here is designed to retain the factory control panel and display of the climate functions and the vehicle customization menus on the 107 GM 5B OLED screen. So if you take a look there in between the double DIN opening and I guess what you could consider the climate control openings, it's a nice OLED screen, nice and clean and visible. And our R&D department, hats off to Jason and the guys over there. They've really done a really good job with this new design on the OLED screen there between the radio and the climate controls. For easy viewability, you guys can take a look at that and see that it's very easy to read the. You're taking a look nice and close. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really nice and easy to see the display there. It's not just an LED display anymore. Very, very clear. After that, it retains the factory stereo controls, of course, with the included interface. Retains the center control panel audio buttons for seek up and down band and menu controls. It is constructed with the highest quality of ABS plastics. As everyone knows us, we're Metra. We've been doing plastics for as long as we've been in existence almost. So, it is obviously going to be the highest of quality. And the harness and the antenna adapter are also included in the box. So first to market kit, very, very excited for this one. Those Cadillac SRXs, as they're getting older, you're starting to see that there's, breakdowns in the factory audio and factory navigation systems that would have been, at the time kind of, leading edge. But as we get into the 2021 and exceeding those factory radios with those factory navigation pieces are becoming pretty barbaric. I'm sure if you've had an opportunity to, get into a car from 2010,
yeah, I was going to comment on this. And in speaking with many other manufacturers in the industry in this segment of, aftermarket radios and such, that category of car from 2010 to 2016 is really hot right now for upgrades. And a lot of driving force behind that, from what I understand, is like Android Auto and CarPlay. I'd like to hear some commentary from Team Metra over there, if you support what I just said there.
That's absolutely correct. I mean, and what Gatlin said is correct. Is these cars are getting older, and something like a Cadillac when that vehicle first hit the market,
Oh yeah.
there was no reason to change that radio out. And if there's something that Metra does and does really well is identifies the vehicles that are getting older that may have some of that newer technology at the time, but now it's outdated and customers do want CarPlay. They want Android Auto.
Bluetooth just
Simply
don't cut it
Bluetooth,
no more.
Yeah. They want those extra features, but they don't necessarily have always the option of replacing that radio. So, and this is a perfect example of the kit that we built. So it's retaining the factory controls, like Gatlin said. It's displaying the OE information because a lot of the big problem that we have, number one, was depth. And then number two is displaying the HVAC information on
modular
some
radios,
type of source. And with the partnership that Metra has with Pioneer, that opens up some doors for us. And in cases where maybe a customer doesn't want to install a Pioneer, that's where the OLED screen comes into play.
Right.
So you're not losing any features in the OE vehicle, and you're getting to add that aftermarket radio and all those upgraded features. So we feel the same way, which is why we constantly go back and look at options for us to develop.
Yeah, and that's why you're seeing a lot of cars that weren't previously getting applications, because we do have these shallow mounts and modulars that
That's
are
right.
letting us get into those applications that previously you couldn't do.
That's absolutely correct.
I mean, a lot of people are wondering why you have to stick with a shallow mount radio in a lot of these cases. It's because there's just no depth behind that factory radio. We're looking at control fans and modules and things of that nature that are behind the dash. And so when we designed this kit, we made sure that we used a radio depth that would work with all of those factory things going on behind those dashboards. It's not as easy as it used to be anymore, Ben.
I know, I see that, but I do appreciate it when I see clearly identified slides where it says compact chassis shallow mount, first to market. These are all important tools for dealers, right, when they're looking at this stuff, because that's the sort of stuff that's going to stick and be able to translate into a sale, hopefully, right?
They're important.
The slide, so people understand that that's this type of radio they have.
Yeah,
to use.
absolutely.
They can't use a standard, depth doubled in radio in order to do the install. They want to make sure that they understand that it is a shallow mount doubled in that they have to use.
Very good.
And what we've done over the past year and a half or 2 years is we've established another style of parts, which would be the 107 or 108, which are the unique chassis radios. So whether it's an L-shaped radio, L top or L bottom, or a shallow mount or a modular radio, we had to have a way to identify what radio was designed for that particular kit. And that's what we came up with. So those graphics that you're going to see that you saw on that slide, they're going to be continuously used throughout the 107 line and what you'll see in the Metra catalog.
Perfect.
And website.
Now, Ben, as I think we'll go to that video and show people, the development of the kit, and take a minute there just to have people view that and get an idea of all the thought and process that went into that. Awesome.
I like that. So slide video. Love it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
For 2010 to 2012 Cadillac SRXs, the 107-GM5B. This kit is specifically designed for most shallow mount radios and Pioneer's modular radios. Traditional size doubled-in radios will not fit into this vehicle without major modification and custom work. We start with removing the factory center panel and controls from the vehicle. The factory climate control panel is then placed into the new GM5 panel with the new radio opening and OLED display in place of the factory radio control and clock. And like always, you can count on Metra's instruction manual to help you with the disassembly and assembly of the kit. The display of the climate control functions and vehicle customization menus are retained in the GM5B's OLED screen, along with retaining steering wheel control functions. To finalize this install, your wiring harness, antenna adapter, and steering wheel control interface are all included. For any more information on this product or other brands, you could visit metraonline.com, find us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. Thank you for choosing Metra Electronics. We are 12 volt.
Might I say that is really well done.
We got a good video.
If you guys had a close look at that video, you can see that OLED screen there.
Yeah, it looks really factory, like really factory.
Exactly it. There's probably going to be a question in regards to retaining factory backup cameras, and maybe Jason can touch on that, or Aaron. Is the included backup camera harness is also included as well?
So I'd have to go back through my notes, but I'm not entirely sure backup cameras really came in 2010.
No,
I don't think they were that common. So
Yeah.
far few and in between.
they may have, and obviously you'll have an input on your aftermarket, but I'd have to go back through my notes, honestly.
All right, we'll circle back. And I'm sure somebody online, if you're, by the way, make sure you're on the chat with us on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
We've got some Metra key players on there ready to answer questions and expand on the content that we are discussing live right here. While I got Gatlin, Aaron, and Ryan with us. Jason. Why do I keep calling him Ryan? Jason and Aaron with us. All right, let's keep the good times rolling, Gatlin.
Yes, so we're on to the next one here. Let's go ahead and get that next slide going here. So this kit is our 107-CH5, and it fits our Jeep Grand Cherokee 1996 to 1998. And people might be wondering, why are we developing these kits for these older cars? You know, I mean, I'm not sure, depending on where you are, but I still see a bucket loads of these 96 to 98 Jeep Grand Cherokees out there. And previously, you could only install a single DIN radio. And I mean, you could do a double DIN, but with some heavy modifications on your own, maybe doing some fiberglass work and that kind of thing. So again, hats off to our R&D department and the guys over there. They've developed a double DIN kit that allows you to retain all the factory climate controls, and it is a cutout kit, so it's designed to have the L-shaped chassis designed radios. So I guess a Sony radio is more of those L-shaped radios. Are you guys familiar with those Sony L-shaped radios? Who else does the L-shaped radios, Jason, other than Sony?
So Sony does a top L. So they have the chassis, the single DIN chassis located on the top. Other than the Pioneer modular radio, that's currently the only one that we know of. So so Sony and then the Pioneer modular.
Yeah, Alpine's got the wrong L.
Yeah, Alpine's got the other L, which, you know, is a benefit because we have kits that only require the L with the chassis on the bottom of the screen. So
Like your Mazdas, those are chassis on
Yeah.
the bottom.
yeah.
Harleys are chassis on top. The Jeep chassis on top. So
And this
again,
is
radio manufacturers are giving you options to move.
It's just across multiple manufacturers.
You know, keeping it fair.
Yeah, exactly.
Spreading it out.
Exactly.
More like keeping Metra on their toes.
right. Yeah.
There's that too.
Yeah.
It's not like we have enough SKUs.
It's
No,
it's
there's more
it's
everywhere.
aftermarket keeping Metra on their toes and the factory keeping Metra on their toes.
Yeah,
Pop and
absolutely.
GM don't want you in their car.
Yeah.
They don't. They definitely don't.
So again, a first-to-market kit here from Metra. Our development team has done this in a way so that you can install those L-shaped radios or Pioneer modular 6.8 radios into the dash of a 96 to 1998 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Of course, all the parts are included in the kit to retain the factory vents, and it uses the harness 70-1817 to complete the install, which is sold separately. So that piece is not sold with the kit, but is available for easy installation.
I'm gonna guess. This is my take on this. There's a little bit of a surge in these older model Grand Cherokees. There's like a little movement of restoring them and kind of jacking them up a little bit. And you know what? They're pretty affordable used, especially that generation. So maybe that has something to do with it. But I'm sure that there are some Cherokee 96, 98 owners are happy seeing this, and dealers that cater to those vehicles for sure.
You can see below there in the double DIN opening that the vents actually get to be a little bit smaller than they were from the factory original. And that's how obviously we've developed this kit. And so you can retain those factory center vents and still get that double DIN look without hacking the dash apart on these older Jeep Grand Cherokees. Back then, the quality of the factory plastics weren't the best. And so we've made it as easy as possible by using this 107.
So what's really unique about this kit, just like Gatlin says, it is a reduction in the overall size of the vents. and you lose the flexibility to aim the vents.
Right, the slide. Yeah.
But what we did do is we upgraded how it mounts into the dash. Typically, your Chrysler single din kits from the factory, there was only two mounting points, and it caused a lot of the single din kits to wobble. You could push in the opposite corners and get it to flex. So what our engineering team did is we obviously identified the problem. We were locked in by the manufacturer years ago. But we identified the problem and we created radio brackets that actually secure that much, much better in the dash. And we're using factory parts in order to do that. So after you get that kit trimmed, the dash kit template trimmed, you drop that thing in with the brackets, there's not going to be any kind of wobble or anything else like that. So really excited about the kit. As far as the popularity, I think it's just Jeep. Right?
Yeah, Jeep, the brand has gone up substantially in the last few years. Those who were into the XJs or the small body Cherokees, they kind of had their renaissance about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
The ZJ is just hitting that price point, sub 5,000 here in the U.S. I'm not sure what they're going for up there, but that's kind of the magic zone. Yeah, that's the magic zone right now. Is anything sub 5?
They're skyrocketing because you can put a double din in it now.
Yeah,
That's why
we did that.
See what Metra did to the market.
We did
stimulate
that.
It
Now, interesting little Easter egg with this kit, right? So if it is one of the few Grand Cherokees, the ZJ, that's what they called it, that had steering wheel controls, we can retain those with the ASWC one too. So
there you go, sweet. You were saying, Gatlin, you had something you want to comment?
Yeah, just so our installers are aware, there is a little bit of modifications that are required to the factory dash. That's right, Jason and Aaron. Yeah.
Some, some cutting's definitely going to be there. Metra's not afraid to get you into the Dodges and Jeeps to cut. So just be prepared.
There you
go. Which is why we had to redo or redesign the vents and make those a little bit smaller. So there's no cutting of the factory vent air duct in the back. We have an adapter plate that takes it from the small opening to the larger opening behind the dash, so it sandwiches in against the foam from the factory, which is also why we require the L-shaped chassis with the chassis on the top, so that there is no additional modifications that you need to make. Because if you have air that works in the Jeep, you obviously want to retain it. So we try to keep those modifications down to a minimum. And with the option of the radios and how they mount different styles, the L shape was just the best option for it.
Kind of nerding out on AC for a second, right? So I've had plenty of Grand Cherokees. There's plenty of vents. And with the reduction, what you're going to see is, make sure you explain to them, it's actually going to speed that air up. So like if you put your thumb in front of a hose, how the water pressure gets a little higher, same for air vents. So you're not actually going to feel any difference in cooling on your skin. So that does kind of make up for the redesign.
All right.
It's all about. Let's get into that video, Ben.
All right.
Cue Brandon.
Introducing a new solution for 1996 to 1998 Jeep Grand Cherokees, the 107-CH5. This kit is designed for a double din installation with an L-shaped chassis with the radio chassis at the top of the screen or Pioneer's modular 6.8 radio. The CH5 is textured to match your factory finish, and to finalize this installation, your wiring harness will be the 70-1817. For any more information on this product or other brands, you could visit metraonline.com, find us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. Thank you for choosing Metra Electronics. We are 12 volt.
Groovy.
There you go. In case anyone's wondering, that's our guy Brandon Guidis doing the background voicing for any of those videos. But the video gives you guys a really good visual idea of what type of radio chassis is supposed to be used in the application. So we'll get into the next one here, Ben, if you don't mind. The next slide.
Give me a second. I'm fast, but I'm not that fast. What are we going to get into here? Let's see.
Time is flying. There's so much to talk about.
I know there's so much to talk about. All right, here we go. Let's just go ahead and set that up. And we're off to the races.
All right. So this is a really neat kit. It's our 107 MI1, and it's designed specifically for the Pioneer 6.8 modular radios. And it's the DMH C2550 NEX again, and the DMX C2500 NEX. And it fits the Mini Countryman, Paceman 2011 to 2016 note without factory navigation. And you'll have to maybe visit the dealer or a manufacturer to see current models, but includes a blockout panel for the factory radio buttons that are no longer being used. And it's a highly polished process that provides a look that is similar to both the aftermarket radio and the factory finish. So there's also the 107 MI1 and then the 108 MI1, which is designed for the 8-inch Pioneer radio. And I mean, as you know, all these factory or these aftermarket manufacturers are coming up with larger screens, different chassis depths, sizes, letters, I guess you could say. And so this kit is radio specific and fits the Mini Countryman and the Paceman 2011 to 2016.
So this is another example of how different radio designs can allow us to take different steps and unique steps when developing a kit.
Yeah.
So the Mini, we've looked at the Mini many times, and there's just no width in the dash for a chassis, and a doubled-in chassis. So it really handcuffed us for a lot of years. And with the introduction of the modular radios and the fact that Metra designed a floating kit for those Pioneer screens, that opened up a whole new area of design options for us. Who would have thought, you fit an 8-inch screen into a Mini? Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's called a Mini for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the 6.8 and the 8-inch options basically float that off of the dash, and the customer, you can snap the floating screen up and down. You move about 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch up or down, depending on where you initially install it, but you don't lose sight of the gauge,
Right.
the gauge cluster, and you get all the features that a customer wants, like the CarPlay and Android Auto that we were talking about earlier. So
and everybody likes the tablet style radios, and it kind of introduces that styling into the Mini.
That's right.
So,
So we're excited about it because it is a unique kit, and there isn't anybody that we've seen that's come out with something like this. So
almost an exclusive. And my question is this: that's great. The adjustability vertically. Is there any tilt left, right to that?
No, there's not. Pioneer doesn't offer a portrait mode, so it's basically a landscape. There's no tilt, in or out. It's a fixed mounting location.
Okay.
But the kit does come with 2 brackets. It comes with a straight-on bracket, and it comes with a bracket with, I think it's like a
couple degrees of tilt
angle or something like that, where it can tilt it back, or it just gives you multiple mounting options in case you need to tilt that screen a certain way.
Yeah, and with you guys being professionals, where there's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely.
So if you wanna move that, you can take our parts and change them up.
Yeah.
So
yep.
I just think that really modernizes that entire setup right there. Like I'm looking at the small picture on the right, it's like, holy cow. And the one in the picture is, I'm guessing that's the 8-inch.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure because it goes up to the.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be the 8-inch. Yes.
Many customers rejoice. Metra has found you a solution. There you go.
That's right.
We always do.
Many calls into support about fitment on this car. So this is one I do actually think is going to be once the word gets out to the community, they will come a calling.
Excellent. And I'm going to guess there's a video to support this install.
There sure is.
Why don't we go do it?
Introducing a new solution for 2011 to 2016 Mini Countryman and Mini Paceman without factory navigation. The 107 and 108 MI1. Both kits have a high gloss finish and include a blockout panel for the removed factory radio controls. The difference in the 107 and 108 is the 108 is specifically designed for Pioneer's DMH C5500 NEX radio. The 107 is designed for Pioneer's DMH C2500 and 2550 NEX radios. To finalize this install, your wiring harness will be the AXTC-BM1 and your antenna adapter will be the 40-EU10. For any more information on this product or other brands, you can visit metraonline.com, find us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. Thank you for choosing Metra Electronics. We are 12 volt.
I just
Right,
love,
there we have it.
just love the videos, the drive that's going on in the background, shows you guys all the parts that are required to do the installation. You know, I just love those videos.
I'll be honest. I'm quite a fan of this format where we get to, show the image, show the product, talk about it, hear from the techs and the guys that help engineer it, and then put it into a real life situation through video.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's great.
gives you all the
Absolutely.
part pieces that are needed and seamless installation, and it looks great.
So one thing that I'd like to make sure we point out with the interface, the AXTC, that particular part has built-in steering wheel controls. So that interface will cover your ignition, 12 volt, 10 amp ignition. It'll also retain the steering wheel controls. So it's really, it's about, combining what would have been an XSVI and an ASWC into that one interface. It's just overall a better solution for the customer. So.
Very, very cool.
What is the first thing those guys should be doing with those modules, guys, before they even install it in the dash?
Is this a trick question?
You update it. You always update it. Right?
Yeah, you go buy a cell phone. What's the first thing it does?
It doesn't
Same
update.
difference.
Exactly.
Doesn't update. Buy your Xbox.
Yeah,
3
buy
hours later,
a
you
Roku.
can play it.
I mean, pick it. You got to update it.
Yeah,
So,
gotta update them.
Oh God, that crushing feeling of bringing home that new Xbox or play, and then plugging in. Everybody's excited. You finally got 3 hours of updating.
yeah.
Yep, it's a thing, man. But
talking
it's integration electronics. So
Yeah.
I love talking to Aaron. I'm sure everybody does over there in the tech support team. But if you want to avoid a tech support phone call, update it first, right?
Yeah. Probably save everybody some time.
You got it.
absolutely,
That's absolutely right.
All right.
And AXTC has we added some LED feedback and stuff like that, so it makes it a little bit easier for the customer.
Oh yeah.
And also these guys in tech too to troubleshoot. So
Okay.
All right.
It looks like we're moving on to the next one here.
all right,
Moving on.
5 and /99 70-19. So both.
Wow, we're going back on this one.
Yeah, this is going back. That Mitsubishi Mirage and Mirage G4 2018 to 2020. Us up here in Canada have buckets of these Mirages
Yeah.
around now, and it was one of those cars that were, super, economical.
This is the economical family car. This is
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It is. It's been the car that has saved Mitsubishi. That's for sure.
yes.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Hopefully.
I don't know if it was the Outlander Sport or the the brand, the Mirage. Those cars you see everywhere. When it first came out, those little cars. I was thinking, I don't know these things, But I see them everywhere, all over the place here in Canada, and I imagine throughout the U.S. as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're like flies.
Do you guys still have the radio delete options up there? Does all of it come with? Yeah.
Yeah, we have the option of getting a vehicle without a radio in 2021.
Those are the good old days
Yeah,
The good old days.
isn't that something?
for us, anyway.
Right. So again, just another nice kit for us here to be able to install either a single DIN or a double DIN radio into those Mitsubishi Mirages. Again, either single or double DIN. It comes with the included ISO pocket there, and at the bottom it explains that it's a 70-7005 for the complete install. As far as I know, I don't think there's an antenna adapter needed for this one. It uses a standard antenna plug, as you'd expect for a budget vehicle. There are no really data communications or amplified antennas on a vehicle like that. So I think it's just the harness and the dash kit, as far as I'm aware, that is needed for the install.
This one's like old school.
They are individual parts, so they're not included in a kit. And what I want to make sure that we point out is that it's a there's two parts, a 99 and a 95 version. So
Yeah.
99 is for your single DIN, 95 is for your double DIN.
Oh, okay. So those are the two-part numbers right there. I see the designation.
Yeah, those are the two-part number options.
Yeah, so
depending on your
when
chassis radio
shops,
that you want to put in.
yeah, when shops call up, generally the difference between the two is the pocket for the single DIN. So if there's one you want to keep on your shelf, probably go for the 99.
There you go.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's an eco vehicle, so there's good probability it'll probably be an eco radio going in. So
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
all right,
That's your $99 install.
that's
right.
it right there.
Good old days.
100%. Let's go to the video.
Sounds good.
Introducing new solutions for 2017 to 2020 Mitsubishi Mirage and 2018 to 2020 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. The 99 and 95-7019. Both of these kits go through a high polishing process to give the plastics your factory finish look. Difference in them being is the 95 is specifically designed for a double DIN install and the 99 for a single DIN. To finalize this install, your wiring harness will be the 70-7005. For any more information on this product or other brands, you can visit metraonline.com, find us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. Thank you for choosing Metra Electronics. We are 12 volt.
All right.
Again, another very informational video from our friends over here at Metra, right?
So I want to voice it that this is also it's Metra's design, right, to not just to do a wide gamut of vehicle applications. So we obviously have our touchscreens, we have our tactile kits, we've got our floating mount kits, but we don't forget about the entry level vehicles.
That's
right?
your bread and butter.
So yeah, I mean that really is a bread and butter, and that offers the customer the ability to get an upgrade in there at a relatively inexpensive cost, right? So we don't just look at Cadillac, at the SRXs. We look at Fords, we look at Chryslers, and we still put focus in Mitsubishi and Hyundai and Kias. We put our focus everywhere, and this is just an example of that, right? This kit for the Mitsubishi, relatively small piece of plastic, easy to install, easy for you guys to make some money on, and that's good for everybody.
Right, it's easy to stock. The plastic kits are relatively inexpensive for the retailer to keep in hand. So when a customer walks through the door and says, "Hey, I got a 2017 to 2020 Mitsubishi Mirage G4," you can say, "Oh yeah, I got that in stock," and it's really easy.
Yeah.
I think what's really
hang 'em right over here on my shelf.
Yeah.
I'm going to circle back to my comment at the top of our session. CarPlay Android Auto has driven aftermarket radio sales like crazy. So yeah, the more applications, the more equipped you are, because rewind a bit, everybody's coming, oh well, because I want to put a big system in my car. Yeah, that's great, and there still is that market, no doubt about it. But how much new market is there? Just regular folks might not have an inkling about what car audio might be, but man, I safety purposes, I need CarPlay. Well, you know what? I got a kit for your car, and I got a base radio that can go in there with CarPlay. We can set you up, sir or ma'am. So
that's absolutely correct.
Kind of something else I wanted to pick. If you've noticed, Metra took a lot of feedback, and we've really kind of changed the texturing and how the plastics are being made and how they're being presented. A lot of people weren't fans of the non-scratch coating, so they've actually updated and went to this polishing technique.
And it's a really beautiful
manufacturing process.
It's really super nice to look at. It matches the factory finish perfectly. Makes it a very OE style install, which is great. That polishing effect on the plastic, nice. Very nice.
Absolutely.
So we've been talking about dash kits. We've been talking about antenna adapters. We've been talking about modules and digital turbo touch kits. And I think that the other side of Metra, the plastic sides, are some of these pieces here. I've got in front of me here an 82-VW1. This is our combo speaker kit. And so these are a little bit more of a profitability piece that our retailers can keep in stock and allow them to make a little bit more money on the end of the install. And, it just simplifies things for our consumers and our retailers and installers. And so everything is included in this particular bag here. And you can buy these pieces separately. And I imagine that either our guys in the comments section can separate the part numbers from this kit. But in the bag, I'll just go ahead and unbox it here really quickly. I'm going to do it dirty style, not use a knife and just totally tear into this thing. But you got the speaker adapters here, and these just make for a really nice clean install on the door panel. All of the mounts are necessary there for a nice 6.5-inch speaker. And then as well in the bag, you also get the speaker plugs. And, this just allows the the consumer, the end user, to retain their factory speakers if they'd like to. In the VW applications, I think these things are actually factory riveted onto the doors, but most shops should have a riveter to put the factory speaker back in place. And these suckers here, they just plug right directly into the factory locations. And then on the other end here, they're already predetermined, and you can plug these suckers right into an aftermarket set of speakers. Again, just a nice little, piece from Metra that it can help our retailers make a bit more money at the end of the day. And it's in a complete package. You're not having to buy them separately. You can go ahead and buy it in the package, and it includes the speaker adapter plugs. I got another set here as well, our 82-CH1. The 82 is just a designation for speaker adapter plugs and brackets. So in this bag here, again, I'll do it nice and dirty. Just get right into it and open this sucker up here. Usually, I'd use a knife and make it really nice, but, I just like to kind of get.
We want to see the product, Gatlin.
Yeah,
Show the product.
So here's the speaker adapter rings here. Again, very universal. Most of the older Dodges, and I guess Aaron's a Jeep guy, so he can attest to the kind of oddities with the factory mountings in Dodge products back in the 2000s. They only used 3 mounting points, but again,
try them out.
Yeah, exactly. Nice, easy installation there as well. Bolts right directly into the door using the factory hardware. And these pieces here, just they really bring your profitability way up there, right? You're doing a standard deck install. I like to call it a deck and 4 or a deck and 2 speakers, and these things just add that little bit of professionalism to the install. The consumer invests a good amount of money into a high-end set of, say, Focal or JL speakers, and those things aren't necessarily the cheapest. And if the customer ever decides that they want to sell the car, or it's a leased vehicle and they don't want to cut off those factory connectors, well, here you go. Plug and play, quite literally. Retain your factory speakers, put them in the box that you bought the aftermarket speakers in, and when you go to either lease return or sell the car, you can take your investment with you. And at the same time, the retailer is making a few more points on that install and making their life easier, right?
And I think all good shops and good installers know to take pictures of the install, show the customer how clean that is, with those accessories and with those tools, and show them. Because when they see that, they'll be like, "Oh man, that's awesome! Thank you for taking that extra step. I appreciate that." And it just goes a long way. That's what I think.
And just one more thing here too, while we're still on the speaker adapter plugs and rings, we're always coming up with new ideas, and again, trying to listen to our retailers and our installers and make their lives as easy as possible. As many installers know, as you take apart the doors of newer vehicles, the plug styles are changing, and things become a little bit you're like, oh, I've never seen this plug before on this brand new 2021 Dodge Ram. Well, guess what? Bam, got that for you right here. You know what I mean? You plug that sucker right in, retain your speakers. You don't have to cut off any of those factory connectors in your brand new vehicle. And we're always coming to first to market with these brand new speaker plugs and adapters.
Awesome. I like that unboxing stuff. That's cool.
For Kia as well, just Kia, Hyundai, those are, the top selling vehicles as well. And people are always looking to upgrade. And, a lot of those vehicles are highway leased cars, especially here in Canada.
Yeah, a lot of leases.
Driving up and down the highways here in Canada, what cars do you see the most often? I would say probably Kia and Honda, right? And so here you go. You want to retain those factory speakers and go from there.
Perfect. Gentlemen, from the studio, anything you'd like to add to what Gatlin just went over?
Yeah, as these vehicles come in, new vehicles come out, they come into our shop, we take them apart, not only on the radio side, but also the door panels to build speaker adapter plates, make sure that we have the right connectors. We're putting a lot of focus on tweeter plates.
Mhm.
So as we grow, as we go forward, all lines are growing, and speaker adapter plates and harnesses are one of those that we are not leaving behind, and we're pushing to the forefront because it's plastics, and we're good at connectors. You know, there's no reason to cut a connector anymore. We have the part. If we don't have the part, you know, tech support will let you know. They add it to a list.
Yeah,
that list comes to us, and then we go out and we find the vehicle. So
kind of getting to that. If you run across something that we don't have, throw me a picture. You know, tell me the car, give me a VIN,
year, make, and model. VIN.
You know, anything like that will help us get that part for you. While it may not help you on that job, we can bring something to market for the next.
That's right.
Very nice.
You know, a lot of installers say it's
and
easy.
You can contact him through, you know, Facebook, through the tech page, through the dealer page, or even just a phone call. That can simply do so. That information doesn't go unnoticed, and it's not forgotten. So
actually, a lot of the new speaker adapters, say for like that 2021 Ram, was information given to us that we gave to the manager of that product line, and she procured that, made that happen.
That's right.
Nice.
So
well, my takeaway from that, gentlemen, there is no need to cut your speaker wire.
No,
that's it.
None at all.
Beautiful. Sorry, Gallon, you want to show that real quick? That looked pretty neat.
Another, again, you know, first to market piece here from our friends here. Jeep Wrangler, Jeep Gladiator overhead speaker adapters. Have I even opened this guy yet? I don't think I have, but I'm going to write this second really quickly because I know we're running out of time on this particular segment. Oh my God, I'm just destroying this box. Why am I doing that? I feel bad about it, but you know, anyhow, in the box here, I'm just going to go ahead and open that up there. Obviously, the instructions are included in the top here. And, you know, they're always protected really nicely inside the box here. So that way they're not getting scratched up during shipping. And they come with a nice little amount of foam back here as well. And all the hardware and the speaker plugs are included in the box here. This is just a simple, you know, profitability maker inside the bay. You know, become efficient, make more money. It's just another piece, you know, helps you become more efficient and profitable in the bay. And, you know, with all those new Jeep Gladiators and, you know, Wranglers coming out, look how
4-inch speakers on those.
Like, look at the fit and the finish of this. You know, I mean, are we a plastic?
Not to jump in on you, Gatlin, but that'll probably be the easiest 6.5-inch retrofit you'll ever do. I've done twice now, and you can do it soundbar out or soundbar in.
I mean,
Nice.
So also what you may or may not know is within the Saddle Tramp line, we've got a speaker grill as well. It's BC-SPG that will fit that JP 1015 product. So if your 6.5 doesn't come with a grill, Metra has a grill that you can put in. It's not branded Saddle Tramp, so you won't.
That's what I was going to ask you.
It's just got a saddle. Yeah, it's just got
Basic
a Saddle Tramp
black.
part number. Yeah, it's just black. It's got metal, nice metal textured grill on it. It's really a nice piece, and it fits perfectly.
Perfect. Well, guys, I told you it would pass fast. We're already there. I got to throw up the contacts because if you're in Canada, your dealer, you're watching this, and you're interested in getting in on some Metra product, you see all the brands up there. You can go ahead and contact Gatlin. He's in charge of Canada sales, so make sure you connect lots of distributors throughout the country that could help you out. And there they are. Guys, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
That was a blast.
You're
down,
welcome. Thank
many
you.
to go. Last hour. We're looking forward to continuing this, guys, and we do appreciate you taking the time with us. So there you go. First session in the bank, Metra, here on day 4 of Canadian Mobile Audio's Industry Week. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.